At the end of the Joseph narrative, after Jacob dies, Joseph's brothers approach him, and now they're just totally fearful of their lives because they think that Joseph's just postponed his revenge against them because of their father. And they offer to even be his slaves. They throw themselves at Joseph's mercy. Now, Joseph, in Genesis chapter 50, verses 19 and 20, responds by saying, "Am I in the place of God? You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good, for the saving of many lives." And so Joseph looks back over his life and he sees God's providential hand. His life was full of pain and suffering, but every step along the way, he sees God using that pain and suffering for redemptive purposes. So his being sold into slavery by his brothers bring him down to Egypt, and he goes into the service of Potiphar, a leading Egyptian official. There, Potiphar's wife frames him for rape, and that gets him into prison where he meets the chief cupbearer and the chief baker, and he demonstrates his divinely given ability to interpret dreams. And as they leave, of course, the chief baker is executed, the chief cupbearer goes back into the good graces of the Pharaoh. So when the Pharaoh has disturbing dreams, the chief cupbearer finally remembers Joseph in prison and tells him about Joseph, who then interprets the dreams in a way that allows them to prepare for the tremendous famine that's coming. And that puts Joseph in a position to be able to provide for the family of God, his family, so that they can survive this horrible famine. And so, again, you see God's hand in Joseph's life, his providential hand, not just doing end runs around those who want to hurt him, but actually using those events to accomplish his purposes. And that makes you think of what Peter says in his Pentecost sermon in Acts chapter 2, where he talks about how he's referring to his audience, you crucified Jesus. By the hands of sinful men, he was nailed to the cross. But God used that very act in order to bring an even greater redemption. And, we can throw around the passage in Romans about how God makes everything work for good for those who love him. And we have to be careful about using that passage too flippantly. But as we think about that in the light of both the Joseph story and the crucifixion story, we can apply that to our lives as well.